Dear friends, Matthew's Gospel, chapter 10, verses 16 to 23, speaks about suffering, particularly about the sufferings disciples have to face for believing in Jesus Christ. Why do the disciples have to face suffering? Actually, they were peace-loving people, and their only aim was to live a pure life and engage in some charitable works. But if we look back the history, there were some serious reasons for their persecution. Firstly, they treated slaves as equals. This posed a great threat to the Roman Empire's lucrative slave trade. Secondly, Christians were against the emperor's worship and they refused to worship the emperor, which further fueled the persecution against them. These reasons collectively led to their suffering, persecution, and martyrdom. Suffering is one of the greatest problems in our daily life, and we ask at times, why suffering? Why do innocent people suffer? If God is infinitely good and present in all things and close to every one of us, then why there is suffering? For all these questions, we don't have a proper answer. Isaiah chapter 55 verse 8 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord." In the Old Testament, we see that the biblical character Job grappled with this problem of suffering and concluded that it is a mystery and he cannot understand. Jacob's son Joseph gave meaning to his suffering when he concluded that God had permitted it in order to save Joseph's brothers and their families. Jesus' suffering and death set a standard for the suffering that his followers would face. Jesus suffered for us. He suffered instead of us because he loved us. Jesus has given us the answer to the questions about the meaning of suffering, not only through his teaching, but above all, through his very own suffering. We are all limited beings. We cannot understand everything. St. Paul writes beautifully about suffering in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8 to 11. We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed. Perplexed, but not driven to despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Struck down, but not destroyed. Always carrying in the body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be manifested in our bodies. He who raised the Lord Jesus will raise us also with Jesus. Let God bless us all.